Hi, this is Max.
And this is Sam.
We made this video to help future B'nai Mitzvah students on their Tikkun Olam project.
When Sam and I began preparing for our Bar Mitzvahs, it wasn't so clear how to go about the Tikkun Olam part.
We interviewed a multitude of Tikkun V'Or community members to get their perspectives on this process.
We hope watching this video helps, and remember, you can make a difference.
What does Tikkun Olam mean to you?
I think Tikkun Olam means to me like an act of kindness that you do to the community to help other people.
Well, it means kind of repairing the world or putting something out there for others. And to me, that's a really important part of Judaism is the mitzvot and what you do for others.
To me, Tikkun Olam means helping people. Yeah, I think it's about that.
So I grew up thinking of Tikkun Olam as the task of healing the world for the Jewish community. The Jews are good at reminding ourselves that the world is broken.
It means repair the world. So it's to do anything that you can to help make the world better for at least some people in some way.
Oh, I love that question. Well, it means, first of all, making Judaism interesting for me and real for me. Like when I grew up, the Judaism in the synagogue I went to was so boring. And it was so meaningless because people just made business deals at shul, but it wasn't about anything. And Tikkun Olam for me is about connecting what matters to me, what I believe in the world, about making the world better and connecting with people, and then getting together and just doing that in a joyful way with people.
I kind of think of it as fixing any issues in the world, whether it be in society or just helping the world in general.
I think just peace and harmony on earth, everybody helping each other and people working together.
Well, to me, I guess it means helping the world heal.
Well, to me, Tikkun Olam means that I'm giving back to people who need it more than I do, and that they're having a good life, and I'm giving back to helping
People who need it, or just generally making the world a better place by being helpful, I guess. That makes sense.
I agree with her sentiment, but also you could say that lots of people have different ideas of what it means, and my idea is that it means doing a good deed, whether it's helping someone or, again, everyone's about what they think is a good deed is different, so it's subjective.
It means being good and helpful to the community and being nice to people and just caring about the community.
Tikkun Olam is about mending the world and collecting the sparks of light that has been scattered around and are languishing, and bringing them back into the divine light so that we can make a world that is sparkling with our good deeds.
B'nai Mitzvah projects, social action projects, social justice projects, but what it really comes down to is Tikkun Olam, repair of the world. Because what we're asking students to do is think about what is it that they can fix, what do they see around them, what are the challenges that they would like to do something about, and how can they go about doing that. So we're asking students to think about what needs fixing.
Tikkun Olam means to me, is very important to me, because I feel like it lies at the center of what being Jewish is about for me. So this whole legend that when God created the world, that there was an immense light that then got broken, and that light is sort of scattered throughout the universe. And it's our job to get that light and to repair the vessel that is broken, is a wonderful myth about the brokenness in the world, which to me means the suffering, the poverty, the war, the injustice, the anger, oppression that exists in the world. And that central to being Jewish is to repair the world, is to bring that light together. And it's very important to me because personally, that's what I learned as being the essence of Judaism. And also because I grew up in a very broken society. I grew up in South Africa, and it was very broken. It was a very racist society. And I've always been interested in what religious people are called to do and need to do to repair the world. So that's what it means to me personally.
What did you do for your Tikkun Olam project?
For my project, I did a food drive at my school, and I donated the proceeds to the rescue mission here.
For my Tikkun Olam project, I volunteered at Longview, which is a senior living facility located in Ithaca. I chose this project because I really wanted to get closer to the elder members of our community.
So at my school, I'm tutoring a 5th grader who is new to learning English.
I helped set up a recycling and composting system in this synagogue for my project.
I went and helped out family friends on their I guess, farm, I guess you could call it that. More of a backyard garden. And I helped out to harvest onions, and I took care of chickens.
I went to the rescue mission, the homeless shelter, and I helped them with their mail, and they asked me to sort the food pantry and stuff.
So my Tikkun Olam project I did back in I think 2015, where I went to a retirement home and I interviewed and I talked to old people, retired people about their lives, and I learned a lot of things from it. I think it was really nice. I enjoyed it.
For my project, I went to a school and I helped teach an art class to kids that were less fortunate and didn't have a very good district and stuff.
What I did, or at least what I remember doing for my project, was there's a temple in Michigan that I'd like to say my great-great-grandfather founded or something, and I wanted to donate money to it, or I had other people donate money to it by giving this speech at various functions that happened when I went to the temple's 100th anniversary around the time that I was doing the project anyway, so I'm just oh. I just gave a bunch of speeches and asked people to donate money and stuff, so that was really cool.
I remember now I raised money for an epilepsy group at Cornell called Faces. Don't know if it still exists or not. And I ended up I had people sign pledges for money per hour of practice. And I met that goal and ended up raising over $1,000 for that group.
Well, one thing, it kind of took me a while to get started. Yeah, I kind of got into doing it a little late, and I'm still doing it now after my Bar Mitzvah, which is still great.
I had to go and talk to the executives because you have to pay the people to pick up the composting, so I had to talk to them and try to convince them to let us be partners with this program and pay them to pick up our recycling and composting.
Don't procrastinate. In the summer, you're off from school, and so if you take a few weeks out of your schedule and devote them to the project, I think it really is enjoyable. It's tons of fun. And it's also, I think, really important to get your project done ahead of time so that you're not rushing with schoolwork, your project, and the bar mitzvah.
For kids in the future, I'd say not to overthink it, because generally what your mind comes to first is something like a big problem that you could help with.
Think about something that means a lot to you, and think of a way you can make it into a project that involves helping or benefiting someone else or another organization in some way, shape, or form.
I think just whatever makes you comfortable.
Definitely make sure to do a project that you're really committed to, really devoted to, and that you know you'll enjoy doing. Because the project isn't just about doing good, it's about you have to enjoy it too. So do something that you're devoted to.
So there are so many choices in Tikkun Olam projects, and there's so many issues in the world. So we don't want anyone to be overwhelmed. We want people to really think about, what are you drawn to? What is really your passion? And what do you think you might be able to do about it? And parents can help, community members can help, Rabbi Brian can help, I can help. Past B'nai Mitzvah students can also help. Maybe there's a project you want to do and you find out somebody else has done something similar. That's okay. It doesn't have to be a brand new project every time. We want you to think about what is important to you and what can you do about it. That's what Tikkun Olam is all about.
Just like we need to learn things intellectually and get knowledge of the world and learn skills, Tikkun Olam is a skill that also needs to be learned. And that's not to say that some people don't do it naturally, and most of us have those natural impulses, but it's different to hand your friend an extra piece of candy than to start thinking about what is broken in the world and how can I fix it. And then you can focus your impulses of generosity and doing good in the world in a more effective way. So I hope that each student can learn to figure out how to look for what needs attention and think about what they can personally do to make a difference.
And I would really like the Bar Mitzvah students to understand the importance of justice in Judaism, and to have an opportunity to think about their own sense of justice and what it calls them to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Each person has a particular thing that really we're called to do. I think that you have a process of working that out. Not everyone does the same thing, right? Some people do big political things. Some people do small caring, interpersonal caring and taking care of one another. Some people do things related to the protection of the earth. Whatever it is, people choose different things to do. That's what my goal is. I hope they'll gain a sense of power, a sense that they can make a difference in the world, that they can see people joining together, that they'll get a sense that I'm not so much only as individuals. What I would really love is for the Bar Mitzvah students to see how they can engage with other people together to make a difference in the world. And it could be in any different way, but I really would love for them to have like a really inspiring experience, seeing how they take on a project and people help them, or they join a project, they see people doing things, and they make a difference in the world.
So, I've been teaching religious school in this temple for over about 12 years, and Tikkun Olam is a big thing we do every year. Kind of talks about repairing the world. And in other terms, that's very big in Ithaca, is this term of social justice, making the place better. So we're born, we have lives, we work, and we want to make sure we leave the world in a better place than when we came into it. So part of Reform Judaism is this idea of doing good works and Tikkun Olam fits into that a lot. When you get to be of bar and bat mitzvah age, which the people that are filming me are, they do a bar bat mitzvah project, which is really tied into Tikkun Olam, whether they're doing a hunger drive or writing letters to Congress about something or helping out the food bank or whatever. So particularly in Ithaca and in a lot of congregations, Tikkun Olam is a major ingredient of Judaism. And in Reform Judaism, we like to instill it as early as possible.
Thanks for watching.
We wish you well on the rest of your journey through this B'nai Mitzvah process.
And
we believe in you.
Go.